Hello everybody and welcome back to my GregTech New Horizons playthrough. This is episode 78, and in this episode we look at our power infrastructure, mainly focusing on centralizing it and distributing it throughout our base from one battery buffer. And the battery buffer that we are looking at is going to be the new multi-block, the Lapotronic Supercapacitor. Grab some snacks, sit back, and I hope you enjoy. Last episode we did a titanium, platinum, and tungsten little build here, and it has been working pretty good. Still tungsten's a little bit slow, but that's okay. It's been working in the background. I macerated some up. We made about 100 or so in between episodes so far. I don't really leave my world running unless I'm playing, so platinum, let's see where we're at. Got a little over 700 dust and almost 400 ingots, so that's not terrible. Still got some PMP to work through here. This is actually going down. Oh, because I've actually shut this off for now. I wanted to run down some of this buffer until we get a multi-block sifter, and then titanium working pretty good, 2500. Alright. Still got a little root tile left as well. Now, I've been talking about making like an ore processing thing where I make all the multi-blocks for all these single blocks that I got over here. I still want to do that, but I really want to centralize my power because I have HOG here, nitrobenzene kind of over here. I would like to have a central place where my power generation goes to. And it's going to require this Lapotronic Supercapacitor that I've mentioned a few times. There's some nuances to it that I'll have to read about. But this is a multi-block kind of battery. And I would like to place it right here. I think you can expand it, like make it taller for more power storage. So I think we're going to put it here. And me just kind of spitballing ideas here. I got to move these generators for sure because of that pole. But maybe I'll move these over to this side of the build as well. So maybe I'll put these over here and nitrobenzene somewhere over here. And that'll kind of feed into this battery buffer. And then that's where our power distribution will be. Probably like right under here. Definitely eventually have to do something about that ME controller too, because it's getting a little wild over here. But that'll be a project in the future. So yeah, I want to get into that Lapotronic Supercapacitor, and in order to do so, I'm going to have to get into these newer circuits. So I was going to do this, but I realized that the quest is asking for glass fiber. And I was going to do this recipe here. But it's asking me to do this recipe for now, so in order to satisfy the quest, I think we're just going to do a couple of these and be happy. I have a ton of this stuff. I've been using this recipe here because I have epoxid on passive, so I have a ton of carbon dust, epoxid, and it gets us 4 of these. So I have a bunch of this. So eventually my auto crafting will be with the carbon fiber mesh, or the carbon fiber raw carbon fiber. But for now, to satisfy this quest, I need to go make some glass fiber, which I did set up a recipe for this stuff. I don't have a ton of boron, but I did electrolyze some borax that I had. So that's how I kind of made the little bit that I have here. So how much is the quest asking for? 2, and then run it through a wire mill. Alright, and that gets us our 16 quartz fiber, or glass fiber. And then it wants us to have 15 cells of epoxid and some glass fiber to make 15 fiber reinforced epoxy resin sheets. So I'll just go get like a little steel cell of this and run 16 through there and do that real quick. And I just made a EV chemical bath because this can be used for the multi-black chemical bath, so might as well just, well, you need ore washer and chemical bath. So eventually I'll upgrade this to the multi-block version, but for now we are just going to put it somewhere over here. You know what? I'm going to put it right here for now. Perfect. Alright, so what is it? This and this. You know what? While we're at it, I'm going to go get some of my carbon fiber mesh, or yeah, raw carbon fiber, and just make a bunch of it for now. Alright, so that should satisfy the quest, right? Yeah. Alright, so the first step is the board we made. Some more sulfuric acid and aluminum foil will get us this fiber reinforced circuit board and a chemical reactor, and then in another chemical reactor, which we can maybe I can set up do I have the auto? I think I can auto craft that. So let me set some things up here real quick and I will be right back. Alright, so I set up 2 patterns for these, the fiber reinforced circuit board and more advanced circuit board. Let's see how many I can auto craft without running into, I think energetic foil I'm going to have to set a craft for, but let's just check it out. I wanted to make 100. Okay, so it looks like I don't have a recipe for aluminum foil, energetic alloy foil, or even, oh yeah, well, this I'm just going to have to do by hand for now because I don't have a chemical bath on this system for like automating stuff yet, so I will just make a bunch of this. Alright, so I think I have everything crafted up to kind of auto craft these. I haven't done any like the bending, so I'm going to let the auto crafting do that because I kind of want to see how long it takes to make like 100 of these from. I don't have a ton of aluminum foil made up, I don't have a ton of energetic foil made up, but I do have like the ingots, so that would be the only part that would be like kind of automated. And then I want to see how long it takes to make 100 of them, so let's do it. Alright, we have everything for 100 of these. It's going to do 100 crafts in the chemical reactor. And this is all the things it is going to take. That's not too bad. 100,000 iron chloride. I did up my iron chloride 3 tank, or iron 3 chloride tank. It was a 128 tank. I made it to a 256 tank for now. Yeah. Let's let it go. And I'm going to press the follow button on that because I want to hear a little ding when that's done. So we're going to make 100 of those right off the bat for now. I also want to show you, while I have your attention, I don't know if I showed this. I did mention that I wanted to do it 2 episodes ago, but I did make a mass fabricator, an amplificator. Yep. And advanced recycler. So I had to kind of turn this guy off because it was eating up my fuel back here. I might go ahead and turn it on because we have built up a little bit more fuel. I've been using naphtha because it's kind of, I don't know, I'm getting overflow of refinery gas and kind of an overflow of light fuel as well, but I put a bigger tank on there. But yeah, so naphtha is just getting used for powering some of these machines over here for now until I get it hooked up to actual power. But I did not turn off this, so this has almost got 1,000 liters in here, which is the max, and it's been just running off of so far just I had like 100,000 netherrack in here, and it's now dwindled down to 14k. But I do have like item conduits out of all of these except for the soul sand, so basically all this stuff is going to get turned into UU matter eventually. And we have a bucket and a half. So I can actually probably turn this on for a little bit. Actually, probably. Let that run, get a little bit more UU matter here. So yeah, UU matter is building up. Radon has, I got almost 100 buckets of radon, I think, at this point. Oh yeah, over 100 buckets. So yeah, that's been kind of going in the background. So yeah, we are doing the things. All right, I might as well go this way as well. So I might make an autocraft for this because we have platinum now. I don't know if I have these on autocraft, so I'll have to look at that. So yeah, I think I want to, because the data orbs are going to be used. I can use them to like duplicate things with UU matter. They're also used in a few recipes. You know, I thought they were used for the Lapotronic crystals, but I guess not. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm going to do this quest, and it's funny because this is an MV field generator, and I've already made an EV field generator, so I'm pretty sure I've made these before, but obviously the quest wasn't unlocked. And then this machine right here is how you kind of duplicate things with UU matter. So, what does this look like? So yeah, this isn't too bad. I might make one of these as well and put it in my lab. And I don't know what we're going to duplicate just yet. I think I can duplicate crops, if I'm not mistaken. So if I have like my crops are getting pretty much the point. I have less and less been going up there and leveling them up, but let's see where we're at right now. Stickery 2212. And then spruce, I have a 2019, 2319 of blackberries that I've been kind of leveling up here. Let's get some crop sticks. So yeah, once I have, what is it? I forget what the stats are that you want. It's like 23, 30, 0 or something like that. So I've been trying to get that, and it's just taking quite a long time. Ooh, nether stone lily's got a 2418, so it turns red when you go above 23. I did not know that. All right. So we are, I don't want this right now. Interesting. All right, so data orb is all of this stuff, which I might do. It needs to be in a clean room, so I will do, we'll autocraft that and see what we need. Oh, I already have one. It must have been from a loot bag. Does that complete the quest? Oh, it's going to want us to make a replicator as well. Oh, I don't have that quest unlocked, you doofus. Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah, I do. I need to make 4 of them. Alright. Alright, so I need to make a pattern for that, that, and that. Alrighty. Oh, you know what? I can't automate this. The NOR and NAND I can't automate because I need a couple more precision engravers, so I'm just going to batch craft a bunch of these for now. Alright, so we got all of our more advanced circuit boards. That completes this quest here. And then now we're waiting on some data orb crafting, and then I guess maybe I'll have to make another MV field generator, and then I'll probably make this for now. But now that we have this, I want to get into it's not even here, this guy. So we need to make a ton of these. Oh, this is what I thought I thought this was a data orb, but so yeah, I want to make, I think we're going to start off with 9 of these to begin with. So I need enough stuff to make 9. So I'm going to probably need to make some more of these nano component central processing units and a couple more power ICs. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're gonna need to make a couple more of those. And then these are glowstone with carbon fiber mesh in the central processing unit. We got a good amount of those. So let me do some more crafting and I will be right back. I am glad I made this recipe here because we need a lot of borosilicate glass for, I gotta read this because I think I need different types of glass depending on the tier of the multi-block. Alright, so if I have IV capacitors in there, I think I can, because its glass shell has to be tier -3 of the highest capacitor tier. So my highest capacitor is going to be IV, so -3 of that would be, yeah, this glass should be fine for our first little setup here. So alright, let's make some more of that. We're just going to make 300 of this. We have enough. Let that craft up. We are nope, we are done with the Lapotronic Supercapacitor casings. 47 of those bad boys. Let's take that out. Bingo. And then we are getting a couple of these going. I need 4 for the controller, and then I'm going to need quite a few more. So this is like 3 for 1. I want 9 of them. So that means I need 27 of these. And then we laser engrave them down for 3. That should be enough. Alright, so I got some crafting to do, like always. Alright, here is our Lapotronic Supercapacitor controller block. Now I am still working on the Lapotron crystals. I need like 27 of those, I think, to then precision engrave down to these engraved Lapotron chips. We have this ready to go. We have this we're working on that, and these are already on autocraft. So EV we could do, and I will probably set up a recipe for that actually. That completes that quest. Ooh, Fortune 3 loot bag. Oh, and we get 15 of these. Nice. Alright, so we need slightly less. We get 8 more here. Sweet. Let's open this up and see what we get. An ender pouch is not terrible. I might color this with black so I can just, instead of throwing things in the trash, I can just throw it in my system. Because black is my mining ender chest. Man, if this was an ender tank, that'd be amazing. How do I make this black? I don't know. Alright, well, we'll just put this in here for now. Alright, so still working on Lapotronic crystals and the borosilicate glass. How do we make this? Compressor. Okay. BRB. Alright, just to remind myself, the energy hatch I believe is the input to this capacitor, and the dynamo hatch is the output. So I'll have to remember that. Alright, so the next quest in the line is the energy orb, which we are working on. It can store 100 million, so if we have 9 of those, that's almost a billion EU. That's a lot of EU. I know it probably won't last very long, but I'm excited to get more storage here because my current power storage is terrible. So it says until IV, use them to make PAs. They're very useful. I don't know is that a precision assembler? Like, what's a PA? I don't know. But for now, we're going to make them for our battery storage. So I need 216 of these. That is a good amount. So I will be here for a while. Alrighty, and we made, or at least we finished the construction of our Lapotronic Supercapacitor, and I have our Lapotronic capacitors inside here that are IV. So, I also made these 64 amp dynamo hatches, which I think this, I'm going to need to now transform down up to, or I'm going to transform up to LUV to spread around the base to minimize cable loss for now. So I got to work on these two bad boys. But I realized after I edited some of the video and realized, boy, was my math way off. We needed 216 of these engraved Lapotronic chips, Lapotron chips, which was 72 Lapotron crystals. So that took a little while, and then I went ahead and made all of this stuff here. You can minimize that. Yeah, all of this stuff here. And now we're working on, I am working on a little bit of superconductor EV wire right now, but I'm also working on HSSG, which we already made, but I'm making some more for the LU, that's going to be our LUV wire that we spread around the base. Next I need to, for one, make a couple more transformers to transform up to LUV to spread around the base and then transform down to wherever I'm going. And then logistically figure out how I want to move my generators. So probably going to start with these ones because these don't power that much. Those, the benzene and the nitrobenzene ones that we got going on right now, that powers the ME system. So I don't necessarily want to move those just yet. We'll probably start with moving these down here. And I'm thinking we're going to put them right here and feed them into this little 64 amp energy hatch right there. So let me figure out how I want to do that because I'm still using the power here, definitely using the power over there. I don't want to cut too many things off in the base and then, I don't know, have something power fail and void stuff and all that kind of jazz. But, you know, wow, dude. I keep walking past this. This is something I made in like, I don't know. It has to be. So we have like a H. It has to be when I was in HV. We used saplings to make plant balls, and then I had flint dust going in here, and then it got compressed down, and it would eventually make these bio chunks. And then I would go take these and put them in an EBF and then compress them down, and you would get industrial diamonds. This has got to go. And the reason that had to go is because I think I'm probably going to be using this space here very soon to do something with. I'm not sure, but that was like I think that might be the oldest setup I've had in this base. Everything. Well, never mind. I still got this going on. All right, so still got a little bit of old stuff going on, but yeah. So I need to figure out how to disconnect some power and get this bad boy connected up. I'm super pumped about this. This is going to be like way more EU than I thought. Actually, this is. They are. What are they? 600. Because originally I thought I was only going to have 900 million EU from these guys, but where are they? These are actually 600 million a piece. And then if we scan this, um, it's somewhere right here. 5.4 billion EU this can hold. So that is pretty nifty. I am super pumped about this, but now I gotta go figure out how to get it hooked up, so I will be right back. Alrighty, so I was able to bring the large combustion engines over here and hook them up with all the necessities, oxygen, lubricant, and HOG, and utilized our new superconductor EV wires, which I did complete a quest right here for all of that. So that's pretty neat. It's hooked up to the Lapotronic Supercapacitor, and I did do a little bit of testing here. I don't have the redstone totally hooked up yet, but I will just turn them all on manually. They are all running at 300% efficiency, and if we turn this bad boy on, we will see that we are getting power in here. I think the 24,000 is because I have some buffered in the dynamo hatches, maybe. Yeah, so those are almost drained. So we will see an actual, yeah, it's going down now a little bit. So yeah, those are hooked up now. I did run an HSSG cable up through here and bring it over to here to then transform down to Ivy. I haven't hooked it up yet because I need to do a little bit of switcheroo up on this deck here. We no longer need this battery buffer. I'm going to hook some wires directly up to this guy right here. And I think that's all I really need to do. And then these should be hooked up fine. I have everything downstairs turned off for right now, but then I can go around and turn everything back on. So yeah, that was a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. I did want to wall share these, but unfortunately I needed the muffler hatch to be on top, so I don't think I can wall share them going like that. I probably can make them go sideways wall shared. But yeah, this is fine. I'll make it look a little bit better here eventually. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, now I got to figure out nitrobenzene turbines. So that's going to be a little bit more difficult because those turbines power a whole lot more than this. But actually, I could probably just wire up the whole base, fill up this bad boy a little bit more, and then wire the whole base how I want it wired up, and then bring those over here. That's probably a better option. So let me spend a little bit more time on this. But I am honest, I can't be more excited about this thing. Like, it was pretty expensive to get up and running, but I have been looking forward to this for a very long time. So let me figure out getting those turbines over here, and I will be right back. And I am back. I have done it. I brought over the 6 large gas turbines from where I had them over here, and I've also hooked up I believe the entire base with power from our LSC. So let me do a little bit of explaining because this was a little bit more tedious than I originally thought. I have figured out how to like have the regulators, if I can, yeah. The regulators only work when the machines are on. And I've done that by putting let me get in here, a machine controller cover on this side of the input hatch, and then the regulator on the face of the input hatch. And that is set, if I can get in there. So that is set to enable with redstone. I put it in safe mode. I don't know if I necessarily need to. I read this little box over here. I think I read on the wiki somewhere that if you put this to like 5 ticks, it might help with TPS. So I did that just in case. But I also have the machine controller on this face of the controller block now. So this little redstone wireless, when that turns on, it turns on the machine and allows nitrobenzene to enter the machines. So that took a little bit of brain power for me to figure that out and get it correct. And then this thing, I was originally trying to have the energy detectors. I have them on each side. This is the low side, this is the high side, and I was trying to get the redstone to work up here, but for whatever reason, I also had to add a LV energy hatch just to place a there's a redstone transmitter. For whatever reason, you can't place them on the supercapacitor casings. So I have the redstone transmitter on these faces here, and the low is set to 4501, just a random number I picked, and then the high side is 4502, and those will wirelessly transmit to these redstone receivers. I don't know why the frequency says that. This is supposed to be 4501 maybe. I don't know, I might have screwed that up. Anyways, I did, this thing is now, well, it's not full, but it did get up to the high mark and then turned all the things off, so I'm assuming this is working. We're going to see once it gets down to 1 billion, that's the low side, no, 500 million is the low side, so once this drains down to 500 million, I'm hoping this will turn this redstone on, which will turn all of my energy production deals on. So that is that. I did it and wired it all up. We got about, I think, like 20-ish amps of LV or EV, sorry, and yeah, it fills it up pretty good. I think we're producing right now, currently we're producing about 55,000 EU. There are going to be some changes. These are just normal turbines. I'm going to make these into large turbines, just like these ones. And then I also have the regulators set pretty low on these. I can push this up to about I think 9 millibuckets, so it'll produce more power. I currently don't have it set to that because the EV dynamo hatches won't be able to push all that power up. So we're kind of bottlenecked by these guys for now until we get into the IV hatches. So yeah, I am super pumped about this setup. I need to make it look nicer. It is kind of just kind of set down and looks pretty boring. But I will do something with it. But yeah, I also ran this HSSG cable all the way over here, transformed it down to IV to go over to the eventually ore processing area, and then it's over here to this little random machines column now, factory area, and then I also have a transformer going to my ME energy acceptor. So yeah, what else? Oh, the nitrobenzene setup is going to eventually move, so this is what's making us nitrobenzene, and it is hard at work right now. We obviously have the bottleneck of the diluted sulfuric acid, but that's fine. I should have plenty of time for this to build back up, but I did run a potent pipe from there all the way down, all the way under here, and up to another super tank over here. So that eventually is going to change, but it works for right now. And yeah, we have a good amount of power to spread around the base now. So I'll probably have to go and reorganize some. Wow, I never finished that. Reorganize some power. I know I've had a few power fails over here, like when I run this EBF, which I just did. Sometimes it power fails this, which this isn't even on anymore. I was using this for ammonia, but I also added hydrochloric acid. The recipe for hydrochloric acid here because I was running pretty low on that. I think I don't know what's using it. Platinum and tungsten maybe. But yeah, went to space and got some more salt water to make some more chlorine. Now we have a ton of chlorine, which I was running low on, and we have a good amount of hydrochloric acid now. So I turned everything off ammonia. Probably need to run that a little bit more. So yeah, that is centralized power for the entire base for quite a long time. We can expand this up if we need more power storage. And then I think the next upgrades we are going to do to this setup is obviously IV hatches. I'm not sure about if I up this to IV, if that's going to do anything to these guys. I don't know. But definitely with large turbines, I can upgrade, I think, these to IV. And that will allow us to make even more power. And then eventually, we'll probably have to upgrade the energy hatch to IV. And then, I don't know, maybe it'll probably be a while because I'm only making like 24-ish amps of IV, I think. So, yeah. But I like this so much. It was, like I said, a little bit expensive to get it done, but we did it. And now I think we work on ore production. So expanding on these little special setups. There's a couple more setups that I want to do. Ilmenite, I think, has a better... So if we run ilmenite, crushed ilmenite, through a chemical bath with sulfuric acid, we get quite a bit of rutile. So I want to set this up, and then this stuff right here gets us the sulfuric acid back, a little bit of oxygen, and iron dust, which I don't really need, but whatever. And then this ilmenite slag will get us some tantalum, niobium, and yeah, those are the two main ones. And then bauxite. So crushed bauxite ore, we can make bauxite slurry with. Then you heat it up. Yeah, the little bauxite line. So you get a bunch of alumina from it, some other things. This bauxite slag is what we're really looking for. That'll get us some more gallium, which we're kind of struggling on right now, and then more rutile, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't really need. And then the sludge juice is just a bunch of other, like, more common things. So I want to set those two lines up soon, and then obviously our general ore production for everything that's just macerate, centrifuge, furnace. Those simple ones, and then we'll look at some of the other processes that you know, thermal centrifuge and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, this episode has gotten quite out of hand with time. So I think it is time to call it quits, and I will see you in the next episode. If you liked the episode, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Also, our villagers have been hard at work. They've been bringing us a bunch of wood, and I think we owe them a visit.